All right, so this week, students, we're going to talk about compound inequalities. So we already did inequalities. You guys should be okay with the symbols and all that. And now we're going to pretty much the same, but now compound. Compound means when you have two inequalities or more joined together with an and or an or. For or inequalities, they have a tendency to graph to look apart. So the one goes that way and the other one goes this way. So check it out. So remember, we have the open circle for less than and greater than, and we have the closed circle for less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So we're still using this for the number line to graph them, even with this, like with all these inequalities. That's how we do it. So we're still using a number line. All right, so how do we graph this? So this is x is less than or equal to -2. So that's going to be a closed circle. So let's graph it on top of that one here. And this one goes this way, right? It's all the numbers less than that number right here. And then or we have x is greater than 3. So it's all the numbers. So 3 is in between 2 and 4. So it's an open circle because there's no equal sign here. And it's going to go all the numbers bigger than 3. So it's going to go this way. And that's how it looks. That's for or. So when there's an or here. Okay? All right. Sometimes you have to solve the equation. So let's do that. Solving or inequalities. Let's do that. And then we graph them. And then we have to put the interval notation. For this one, let's put the interval notation. So that would be all the infinity and then up to -2. It's included because it's a closed circle. Or, and then it's an open circle on 3. And then all the infinity. Remember, with the infinity, you only use parentheses. Okay, so that's how we use the interval notation. All right, so let's do here number 1. So this one, we have one here and we have another one here. We have to solve them first. So let's do that. So that's +4 +4. That goes away. And then I have x is less than -3. Or we have, and you divide by 2, so that's x is greater than or equal to 6. So that's the stuff that I'm gonna, those are the inequalities that I'm gonna be finding here in the number line. So x is less than, so that's open circle, -3, so it's over here, and then it's all the numbers less than that. And then, or we have x is greater than or equal to, so that's going to be a closed circle, and it's all the numbers to the right of 6, because it's all the numbers bigger than 6. So then we are using the interval notation, which is negative infinity, because you're going this way, up to -3, open circle, or we have a closed circle on 6, and then all the numbers after that with a parenthesis after the infinity sign. Okay? All right, so let's do another one. So here we're solving a two-step equation on each of them. So let's do that. So that's -9 that goes away, and I have 2x is greater than 8, and then you divide by 2, and then I have x is greater than 4. So that's first. The second one is -10, that's 0, that goes away. 5x is less than 0, and then you divide by 5, which is 0, right? That goes away. X is less than 0. And then, or, right? And then we use interval notation here to graph, and they're both open circles, right? So we're going to start over here. X is greater than 4, so we find 4. We open the circle. Sorry, that was my mistake. And then we go this way. That's one. And then we do this one. So it's less, anything less than 0. So it's an open circle and it goes this way. So to use the interval notation, we have all the negative infinity up to 0, which is not included, or we have an open circle of 4, and then we have all infinity numbers greater than 0, close the parentheses. Okay. All right, let's do one more on this side here, and then we'll start with the end ones. All right, so here, so plus 14, that goes away. 7x is greater than or equal to 14, and then you divide by 2, so that's x is greater than 14 divided by 7 is 2. You don't divide by 2, you divide by 7. All right, or we have minus 5, that's 4x is less than or equal to negative 8. And then you have, you divide by 4, and then it's x is less than or equal to negative 2. All right, so then we have my two intervals here. So I'm gonna go ahead, my two inequalities, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the graph and then use my interval notation. So x is greater than or equal to 2. So it's a closed circle on 2 and it goes all the infinity numbers greater than 2. And then on negative 2, we're going to go to the left because it's all the numbers that are less than negative 2 with a closed circle because it's equal to. It's included. Negative 2 is included. All right, so now my interval notation will look like parentheses, negative infinity up to 2, which is included, and then or we have an included positive 2 and goes to infinity. Notice that when I write my infinities, again, I use parentheses. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna talk about how it looks when you have an and instead of an or. So let's graph this. So an and inequality have the tendency to graph together. So so I'm gonna show you how this looks. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. So that's x is greater than or equal to, so it's greater than or equal to, so it's a closed circle. It's gonna go this way, right? But then x is less than or equal to 1. So 1 is over here, and it's actually a closed circle too. So that's how it looks here. They connect. So the way we write the interval notation, well, we usually use the this kind of intervals here. So we usually use, so it goes from negative 6 and it's included to 1. Just one interval notation here. Just one interval. That's all we use. Now, in this case, so because the solutions to an and inequality fall between two endpoints, so between two endpoints, they are frequently written in more condensed form, which is this one. So x is greater than negative 6 and x is, so it's in between 1 and 6. So now you use this. Notice that these symbols are in the same direction, okay? All right, because the line is in between those numbers. Okay, so let's do number 6 here. So the way we do this, so for me, I can see it and do it like visually, but you can break this in two pieces. You have x plus 4 is less than 9, and then you also have x plus 4 is 2 is less than or equal to x2, 2. 2 is less than or equal to x plus 4. And then you solve each. So that's minus 4, that's x is less than 5. And you have minus 4, that's negative, what is that? Negative 2. And then it's less than or equal to x. Remember, you can switch this like that. And it's the same thing, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do our graph. So our line will look it's going to be in between this. So it's going to go, by here, we're going to use one open circle and one closed circle. So 5 is the biggest, 5 is the long, and then it's between -2, which is its closed circle, right? So our line looks like this. So this, when you condense it, you write it like x, right? And then it's less than 5. It's in between that, -2. Notice that I had to switch the sign here, but it's the same thing. It's written this way, right? And then my interval would be -2 is included, but 5 is not. So you use parentheses with 5. Okay. A lot of things going on this one, right? All right, let's do another one. All right, so we have, you can break them in pieces, or you can do this side first and then that side next. It doesn't matter how you do it. For me, it's easier maybe to break it in pieces. So that's 3x minus 4, and then it's less than or equal to 2, and then I have -16 is less than or equal to 3x minus 4, and then you solve it like that. So that's +4 plus 4 goes away, 3x less than or equal to 6, and then you divide by 3, and then you get 2. And then on this side, it's +4 plus 4, and then that's negative, that's, what is that? Negative, oh, +4, sorry, +4. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, what? Okay, -12, and then it's less than or equal to 3x, and then you divide by 3, and then you get -4, you get x equals, greater than or equal to -4. And then both of them are included, so then it's in between 2 and -4, so 2 and -4, and they're both closed circles. And then my interval would be what? It would be -4 included, and then 2 is also included. And my condensed my condensed inequality will look like that. And then like that, and then in between, right? -4. And that's it. All right, so I hope this helps.